Hey everyone, it's Rich Dallas here from the Dallas-Fincham team, Berkshire Hathaway. We are back for another episode of Q&A Sunday where we answer your questions every single week. We are on location, so please forgive the distraction of the background this week. We are at the beach, and this conversation actually came up because we're down here. So the three questions we're going to answer today, we're going to have a little fun with everything today. 1, what's the most expensive house that has ever sold in the MLS? 2, what is the least expensive house that has ever sold? And that's actually how we got to these questions, because somebody asked us, what's the least expensive home we've sold, which we're currently under agreement with. We'll get into that. And number 3, I get this question more often than not. It didn't come from here at the beach, but it did kind of relate to these two questions, so I wanted to throw it in there. What should I wear when I'm showing a house? And not me personally, but what should I wear when I'm looking at houses? Let's answer it that way. And what should I wear to the closing? You would be surprised how many times I get those questions. So we're going to tackle those. First, let's jump into the most expensive house to ever sell through the MLS. Now, this is, again, through our West Penn MLS. This does not mean that off-property deals have not sold for more money. This is just through West Penn multi-list. So the most expensive house to ever have sold, go to closing, sold for $8.5 million. It's actually just down the road from our office, 784 Waterdam Road in North Strabane. It was listed at $19 million and sold for 8.5. I'm guessing that's probably not the number they were hoping for, but that's the most expensive house that's sold. Currently, the most expensive house that's active is $12.75 million. That's up in Butler County, and it was actually listed for $14.75. So that one's come down a little bit. At that price point in Pittsburgh, there's just not a lot of buyers. So you're going to sit on the market. The one that sold for, $8.5 million was on the market for almost a year. Now, the question came up, what's the most expensive house we've sold? It was actually not a house. It was actually a commercial building. We sold for $4.7 million. And that was just last year. So now, this is what came up this week while we were sitting here, because we are currently under agreement with a very inexpensive house. So, what's the least expensive house that's ever sold through the MLS? I wish this were alive and you could give me your suggestions of what you think the answer is, because I was actually shocked, very shocked. So, the least expensive house to ever sell through the MLS, and it's not just one house, but it's been multiple houses, $1. $1. Listed for $1, sold for $1. I actually even found one that was in the MLS that was listed for $0, but sold for $60,000. So now, the reason why this question came up is because somebody heard us talking and said, wait a minute, I'm sorry, did you just say you sold a $500 house? And the answer is yes. We are currently right now under agreement with a house for $500. It's going to be awesome when it's done. It's in Cecil Township. And once my guy goes in there and renovates and flips it, you're not going to ever have known that it was only $500 at one point. And then the last question is, and then on that last one, right now, the least expensive house currently active in the MLS is actually $2,500. So prices are going up in this market. But the last one, I get this question a lot. What should I wear when I'm looking at houses? It doesn't matter. Just be comfortable. One thing I would suggest is definitely don't wear high heels for a couple of reasons. One, if you leave your shoes on, you're going to probably be denting people's hardwood floors, or if we walk around in the grass, you're going to be sinking your heels into the grass. So women, I would not suggest high heel shoes unless that's what you're absolutely most comfortable in. That's totally fine, but you definitely would want to wear something comfortable. Guys, it doesn't matter. You're in shorts, you're in flip-flops, you're in t-shirts. It doesn't matter. No one's going to judge you based on what you're wearing. And then the same thing I get all the time. What do I wear to the closing? Again, it doesn't matter. They know that the likelihood of you throwing a whole bunch of stuff in your car and getting to the closing and coming dripping in sweat in workout clothes is probably the reality of what your day was like. So nobody cares what you wear. Just when you're going out to look at houses, especially if you're looking at a lot of houses, if you're going to look at 7, 8, 9, 15 houses in a day, you definitely want to be comfortable and wear some comfortable shoes because you are going to be getting your 10,000 steps in that day. So I hope you enjoyed the Q&A Sunday this week. Just to recap, the most expensive house sold ever through the MLS was $8.5 million. The least expensive house sold through the MLS was $1, and there's been multiple of those. And when you dress for going out to show houses or going out to see houses, just be casual, be comfortable, and wear whatever you want. If you like to wear a suit and a tie, wear a suit and a tie. That's what I'll probably be in, unless it's 900 degrees outside, and then you'll see me in short sleeves. All right, so I hope that was a great episode for you. Had a little fun with it today, and we will see you next week. If you have a question that you want answered, put it in the comments below, and I will get to it in a future episode. You take care.